Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today for this amazing webinar. I am super stoked to have you, to host you, and to be providing this quality information to you to help you boost your business, boost your bottom lines. We're going to get started in just a moment, but want to make sure that everything is working right. So I'm going to go through some of the tech things, go through my checklist, make sure everything's going smoothly. All you have to do is simply sit back and relax. We'll get things rolling in just a moment, but I'd love to know who is watching with me and what your name is, what's your business, some of the biggest challenges that you're currently going through, maybe some of the pain points, where you live, and anything else that you want me to know about you. Again, Zach Miller, going to be your host here today. Super excited. Thank you so much for being here. But in the chat, simply just say who you are, so we can have a conversation this entire time. And if you can hear me, just simply say hi as well in the chat. You should be able to see the chat on the far right of your screen where it says live chat. Just say hello. But thank you guys so much for being with us today. We'll get things rolling in just a moment. Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining us today for the 8 proven ways to recycle your content to boost exposure. It's 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and we are gonna get things rolling like we said we would. So thank you so much for being with us today. Again, my name is Zach Miller. I'll tell you a little bit about myself in just a moment, but you are here today to get the 8 proven ways to recycle your content to boost your exposure. Now, this is gonna be absolutely magical. So why are you here? Well, you're going to take these 8 different pieces of content. Well, I'm going to give you way more than 8 strategies on how to leverage them to boost your bottom lines. Now, literally, this is what probably has happened in your businesses. You've probably done this work, or this work has been done for you. You've gotten you've been on a podcast. Maybe you had a blog post that you wrote, or someone wrote about you, or a piece of press, and it just didn't turn into business. Well, I'm going to show you exactly the proven formula that you need to use so that you can take your already existing work, the work that's already in your back pocket, finagle it a little bit and have some fun with it and turn it into the money-making machine that you thought it was going to originally. I wanted to share a quick story as we're getting going, though. Is literally last week, Kenya Williams of iShine took the first thing that we taught him from just this first module in press and literally has already received a featured in his local newspaper. He sent me a text yesterday to show it to me. So that's how quick some of these things can turn around. So we're super excited to be providing you this information today. And like I said, we'd love to know who is listening with us. Simply say hello in the chat and I'll start it. Hello. We just say hello there, and we'd love to know who you are, where you are, what you're working on, and maybe some of the challenges that you're currently going through. So maybe you're a maker. Maybe you work at a small business. You're a small business owner. You are in the blue-collar service industry. You're an agency owner, so you own a consultancy where you work with a lot of people and helping them grow their businesses. Or maybe you just are an employee at one of these places and you just want to take the things that you've already done, business. So who am I? Well, you can't see me, but I promise you I'm here. That's what I look like. I'm the enthusiastic founder of Hatch, which is just about to hit its 5th birthday, I believe, maybe even its 6th birthday. And I'm the host of a weekly business TV show on ABC, and I'm a recognized influencer of the small business community. I've been in hundreds of publications, and my business has been featured hundreds of times in all these places. I've been on the TED stage. I occasionally wear a suit. And also, I've been named one of the top 75 most influential and powerful people via Inside Business. And recently, Time Magazine named the area that I live in, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, which is in southeastern Virginia, as the top place that millennials are flocking to. And I was named to the top 25 list of the people who made that happen from Alt Daily. So enough about me. It's just showing you that I can take this stuff and turn it into as well. But you know what I hate? Canned information. You're not going to get that from us. We're constantly changing and tweaking and making sure that the things that we tell you are fresh like peaches. We all love a fresh peach, and since it's summertime, let's make ourselves some peach cobbler. But what we're telling you today is stuff that we've used, our customers have used, and we're constantly making sure are fresh. So, with that being said, let's get things rolling. I'm enthusiastic. I think you guys can hear it. My hype man, Desmond, sitting right next to me, can feel it too. He's beating his chest. You can hear it. It is amazing here. But here's the challenge. We have all this work that we've done. We've had a piece of content written about us. We've written that piece of content. We did a tweet, or someone did something for us. We've worked our butts off, but it's not turning into business. Why? Because we're trying to sell too quick. Yep, I said it. We're trying to sell too quick. And so instead, if you think about putting this process or playbook into play in your business, what you will find is that all those people that you meet the first time and say, buy my thing, will actually turn into those customers if you follow this formula. Now think of a funnel. Now this is a funnel, a sales funnel. Now basically what you're trying to do is take the introductions, the content that you wrote, the people that you meet, and funnel them into customers. And what you will learn is that the deeper you learn about them, the more that you help them, the more likely you are to take that first meeting and turn it into a customer. So everything we're going to be talking about today, let's call a piece of content. A piece of content can be one of those 8 things. Like I said, a blog post, a piece of press, a magazine article, a podcast, and many other things as well. But you have to funnel those pieces of content down the line to convince people that you are the right fit for the job to help them with. So in step 1, we have free content. Maybe they're finding you through a tweet or an introduction or a networking event. What are they learning from you? Free content, like I said, can be an introduction from someone, a blog piece you wrote, a webinar, an email, social media post, just something, right? Number 2, moving to number 2 in this step. Whoa, I'm moving fast. I'm so excited. Number 2 is a mutual data point. And what we mean by mutual data point is, think about when you're at a networking event, you have a conversation with someone, it goes very, very well. And at the end of it, you're like, here's my business card. I'd love to provide you more information about the questions that you had. And then you exchange that business card, and then you can follow up with them. This could also be a friend request on Facebook, a LinkedIn connection, or a business card swap. You want to make sure that you can initiate a one-to-one conversation with people and get that data point where you can actually, what do you think it is? Provide them more information. You want to make sure that you can get their email, their phone number, their street address. You just want to make sure that you can contact them. Now, here is where things get funny. Sales research says that it takes 5 to 7 positive interactions to convert someone into a customer. However, over 85% of people quit right here. They never even make it to step 3. So think about that. If the data shows that you have to basically talk to someone or move them through each piece of the funnel, at least 5 times and everyone's quitting at 2, what do you think's going to happen? You're going to fail if you don't keep going. So what's step 3? It's simple. Provide individuals with supplemental information. You can do that by providing an additional relevant educational piece. So you follow up with someone that you met at a networking event and go, hey, John, hey, Mary, it was so nice to meet you at the networking event that we met at. I wanted to provide you this additional free information that we talked about so that you can learn XYZ. It was so nice to meet you. Thanks, bye. And sign your name. Now, so many people quit at this point, and they wonder why. Well, I went to a networking event, but it's not turning into anything. Look, guys and gals, I'm sorry. You're not going to just convert overnight. It's not like signing up for a Facebook account. We're talking about cold, hard cash being exchanged for something, like whatever your business is selling. And people got to know that you're trustworthy, that you can help them, that you're going to be good at it. So provide them with supplemental information. It's an additional relevant educational piece. You want to be providing additional value. Then step 4, dig deep. Find out if this person is even your customer. Figure out what their pain points are. How do you do this? Hey, Sally, what's the biggest challenge in your business right now? I have never, and I mean ever, had someone say nothing. Literally, tens of thousands of people have provided information to me. What's the biggest challenge in your business right now? It's that simple. Ask. You really want to figure out what their true pain point is. And guess what? You have still not pitched at this point. Then you want to analyze it and figure out how you can help. Are you the right fit? And here we are, folks. Step number 5. Recap everything that you provided them. Hey, Sally, it was great meeting you at the networking event where we talked about XYZ. I provided you this additional supplemental information. And it sounds like your major pain point is, maybe it's multiple things. 1, 2, 3. I wanted to let you know that we've worked with John, Jeremy, and Desmond, and this is how we've helped them do ABC. And when I say 1, 2, 3 or ABC, that's when you fill in the blanks. I think you are a great fit for us to help you, and this is how we can help you. And then sell it to them. This is what we're going to do for you. Now, step 6 is within 24 hours, whether or not that person bought or not. Hey, Sally or Susie or whatever I was saying. Hey, Sally, just wanted to make sure that you got everything I sent you and that you don't have any questions. If you do, please let me know. If they do buy, just say, hey, thanks. We want to thank you so much for buying. And then there's a process of, if they're not ready yet, you got to figure out what they're looking for. And finally, post-sale. There's a lot of like customer service things that you still need to do in here afterwards. We're not going to talk about that today. But you want to literally reach out and be like, hey, just want to make sure that you're happy with what you got. I think you should do this within 48 hours. Every single person. You can automate this process. You can reach out to them manually, phone number, text, whatever it takes. And just make sure that what you promised them, so far they're getting. If it's a long-term, if you're an agency owner and it's a long-term process, follow up with them early and often. Just be like, hey, just want to make sure everything's going okay. Why? Because if you get months down the line and things aren't going well, it ain't going to end well. I've found that one of the biggest issues companies have is simply this. They don't communicate. And they go, well, Zach, I don't understand why this isn't working. Well, you haven't talked to them in months. What do you expect? I can feel this. I'm going to lose my voice today. And you know what? It was worth it. All right. So now that you know what a funnel is, let's take 8 different venues, 8 different avenues, 8 different styles, and teach you how to put more money in your pocket and throwing into the funnel. Now remember, the funnel right here, everything that we're going to be talking about is potentially that first step in here. It could also be step 2 or step 3 or step 4. But the key is knowing that it's a funnel and that you're going to have to move people down that line. The first things first, remember, I not only have a journalism degree, but also host a TV show and a podcast. So I'm getting hit up all the time on, hey, can I be on your TV show? Or, hey, Zach, I saw you here. I would love to get on it. And you know what that sounds like? Me. Why is that bad? Well, you don't need to create a relationship with someone. The number one thing that I think is important in trying to get your message or brand across to someone is to create a relationship with the reporter. The first ways that you can do this is literally find that person on the internet. Oftentimes, different reporters and industry publications have beats. What a beat is a thing that is around a topic that repeats itself over and over and over again. It could be the sports reporter, the weather reporter, the crime reporter, the political reporter, the industrial reporter, or the reporters, depending on how large your market is. So what you want to do, and I'm going to show you exactly how to find this in a second, but you literally want to find the person to beat, follow and engage with them on social. Like, hey, saw your story. It was great. Retweet it, like it, love it, engage with it. It's social. Then reach out to them via email and just say, hey, just want to introduce myself. I'm really happy with the things that you're doing, and help them out with a story lead or a lead. But it's not about your business. What you want to do here is become a source. And what a source is something that can be even more valuable than just one feature. Because if you become a source, what that reporter or that station or publication will do is they will start calling you or your business and asking you questions about something in the industry. How does this work? By creating value for someone, they understand that you're the source in that, and they will literally start calling you. Literally, I cannot kid you, hundreds and hundreds of pieces of content have been written because I follow this model. And not just written, but video as well. And guess what? You're not pitching your business at all yet. The reporter is nosy. They are going to learn about you. So how do you find a beat reporter? How do you find a reporter in general? Now, a reporter can also be a blog writer for a national agency like a BuzzFeed or a HubSpot or something like that. So literally type in something like about your local business into Google, and what you'll find is something about that local business. Now, this is just an example, but what you're going to find is... this is the story. It doesn't matter what the story is. What we're going to find out, though, is it's so easy to find these emails and contact information about the people who wrote it. Literally, Robin from the pilot, the Virginian pilot, her contact information is right there. As you can see around that green box, there's a little Twitter bird and the email icon, I guess. And what you do is just hover over that, and then on the bottom left of your screen, it'll literally give you her Twitter and her email. Now, oftentimes you can even click that and it'll open up your mail provider or Twitter. And sometimes they're even got their Facebook and their Google Pluses and their Instagrams and all these things. This is just an example of 2. But literally, this is where you can find these people. Now, create a spreadsheet. This can also be a piece of paper, but the key is to have a spreadsheet where you have a group of your national and local reporters so that you know where to find them at any time. You can make this however you want. The key, though, is to have a place. What you'll learn, though, is that these reporters do often leave, so you do want to update it regularly. So what if it's a national business? Simply type something about that national business, and guess what? Lindsay, her information's right there. It doesn't have her email, but I bet if you were to, it does have her Twitter, but I bet if you hover over her name, her email will pop up. Or all you have to do is simply search her name in the search, and all her articles will pop up, and also usually it will pop up her email as well. Look, we're trying to create relationships here. Oh, look how cute this is. It's a snail and a frog on a tree. It's magical. Look at that. If you love snails and frogs, simply say love in the comments. Look, press is about creating a relationship with them. It's not a match.com relationship. You want to engage with them on social, but as you would with a friend, not pushing your business or your own agenda. How often do you get a cold call from someone and they're like, hey, buy my cable, buy my thing, buy this insurance? You're like, click. The reporters will be the same way too. Let it happen organically. Reporters are nosy and they'll broach the subject. Simply create a relationship with them. And I promise you, you will get a ton of value back out of it. So oftentimes you will have to actually send a press release for whatever you're doing. And there is a great template that we have on 1004 that you can download. But basically, if you follow this method, it allows you to send a reporter what they're looking for in a uniform kind of way. Because oftentimes a reporter then has to send it to their director as well, and they're looking for a very specific kind of template. A thing that I really like to do is to start local and learn how that local world works, so that when you do start to broach the subject to a national reporter, you have some experience in what they're asking for. A phenomenal way to boost your credibility on your collateral or on your website is simply take the articles that have been written about you, or the places that you have been, or the customers that you've worked with, and basically say it's the as seen in section on your website. So we were featured in Entrepreneur Magazine. Entrepreneur is a huge brand. They're bigger than us. So we're leveraging that to show that we have credibility. And then simply link that post on the logo. Now, if a publication has written about you more than once, find the topic that's going to net you the best results. Don't forget to link the post. Another great way to do this is simply email your list. You hear people talk about, what do I send to my email list? You have this newsletter. Well, if you were in the press, let them know about it. A couple months ago, we were featured in Inside Business. So we literally sent this message to our list. Hey guys, look, this is what they wrote about us. It's not hard. So maybe you have an event coming up and you don't know what to send to that reporter or to that group. So you simply find their email, you have that relationship with them, and you have a very catchy headline. 13,000 business owners head to Norfolk. Hey, John, who's your contact at that publication. 13,000 business owners will join the 1004 tribe this weekend to share their stories of business pains to systematically grow their business by using proven systems. Please take a look at the attached press release. If you have any questions, call my sales Zach, and then attach the file. You have that relationship with them, and you're sending them this information. If all you do is send this is what typically happens in a newsroom. They get the article, they look at it, and they delete it. Why? Because you're saying me. Sorry, folks, that doesn't work. What people want is to feel valued. By the end of this, you guys are going to have an exact schedule of what you can post. So create another spreadsheet or pull out a piece of paper or think about this, but the key is to schedule social posts. So if you're on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or any of the other social networks, you want to make sure that you can schedule the content back out. Now, why would you do this? Well, not everyone always sees your content, and as your brand grows, you want to make sure that those new people find your old things. And so what you'll find is this is literally just a calendar. You can, from a numbers perspective, figure out how you want to fill it out. This is literally just a template or a guide. But by the end of this, we will have this entire calendar filled. So on Monday, send out something about your press. You can schedule by using tools like Hootsuite, Buffer, and Meet Edgar. They're each a couple of bucks, and the top two have free versions as well. Why do you want to use a tool like that? Well, if you're busy, but you have a couple hours to schedule this once a month, it's better than having to make sure that at 2:00 on a Tuesday, you remember to tweet that story about the press that was written about you. So it's all about maximizing your days. Another phenomenal place to talk about the press that you've received is in your email signature. So if you use Gmail, all you have to do is go to the gear box or the gear icon, click that, go to your signature and change the text. We use this in our collateral, and basically we said, hey, did you see us in Entrepreneur Magazine? Right now, we're talking about promoting our podcast. It's just a lot of white space that you can use and engage with people that are already looking at your emails. Does this work? Absolutely. At one point, I was trying to increase our LinkedIn, my personal LinkedIn, and I would say, hey, are we friends on LinkedIn? And then a link to that LinkedIn. And it increased it. And the people that I was already friends with on LinkedIn, they would say, yeah, we're friends. It's just a great way to get people to click on something that you want them to. You could also use this in the collateral of your Facebook and Twitter cover photos. Simply take a picture of the article and post it on your cover photo. And then in the description, put the link there like you would in the As Seen In section, and maybe a small description about what it is as well. I want to tell you about an incredible tip called Haro. It connects reporters with people in specialized fields to be featured in a mutually beneficial way. Haro is Haro, help a reporter out. And so if you go to helpareporter.com, this will help you get more articles written about you. We probably had about 50 or so written about us by just using this technique. Haro provides journalists with a robust database of sources for upcoming stories and daily opportunities for sources to secure valuable media coverage. You are that valuable piece of content. The journalist is looking for you. So all you have to do is simply click on a source. You sign up, it's free, and they're going to send you a message like this each and every day. All you have to do is click which ones are applicable to you and then tell them your story. Now, I can tell you this, that most of the questions that you will see over and over again are very similar. So start copying a lot of the content that you write and put it into a spreadsheet or a database so that when you find the specific task or the specific topics that are best for you in your business, all you have to do is copy and paste. It will save your time. We're one down. That was the longest one. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask in the live chat. Moving on to existing work. Now, most of you have already produced something of your own or for someone else. Maybe you're an agency owner and you've been working with other brands, or maybe you have your own product. Maybe you're like Nate, who built his own swim clocks. You want to make sure that you have a portfolio page that includes all of the work that you've done in the past. And I mean all of it. It might be a lot of work, but you're able to actually promote the work that you've done. In this, I want you to include what the company did. So what that company you're working for did, or the product that you built, what you did for them, how it helped, and show numbers when possible. So if you are working with a business to help increase their email list, and when you started, they were at 300, and now they're at 33,000, you can say, hey, we helped grow Subway Eat Fresh restaurants from an email list of 300 to 33,000 in 18 months by using these techniques, or by helping them grow their email by doing this. Why would you do this? Because people are going to start to see the type of work that you can do for them, but they don't have to hear you just say, this is what we do. They can see it in the work that you've already done. In this, I think it's important to show both small, medium, and large brands, because oftentimes people only show the big guys, the big brands, instead of all of the brands and people that they work with or the products that they work on. People are like, oh, they only work with big companies, when actually 90% of their business is from small businesses. So you just want to make sure that you have a well-rounded look at all of the work that you've done. And make sure you tell the world the work that you've done. Simply do a snippet and share it on social. Again, that is simply just a guide for you to follow. And after every publication, or after every piece of work that you do, make sure that you send it out in a press release. There are also many local publications that allow you to talk about the new business that you've got so that people can learn about it, and it will help you with your SEO and it'll help you with your marketing. And guess what? It takes a couple of minutes, but it's absolutely free in most cases. How many of you have ever bought a car? Did you know that when you bought your car, you actually likely got a discount by putting the license plate holder on with that company's name on it, like CarMax or Chevy? Did you know that you can do this digitally as well? All you have to do is take that same concept and ask the business that you're working on if you can put your logo and link on their site. We worked with 80/20 and Eric, and we helped accelerate his business over the last few years. And we said, hey, Eric, we've helped you so much. We'd love it if we could tell the world that we helped you. And we simply sent him this logo and said, hey, can you post it on there? And he said, yeah, of course. You guys have helped me so much. I'd love to return the favor. Existing work is done. Moving on to testimonials. How y'all doing? Do you need to stretch? Stand up, do some jumping jacks, do 3 push-ups, whatever it takes. A testimonial is a way for you to tell the story of the work that you've done for someone through words on your website or collateral. This is Xerxes, and he's the founder of an escape room. He leveraged our platform, 1004, to teach his team how to maintain a business. He says, I was able to use 1004 to teach my team how to maintain a business. That way I could focus on growing it rather than working on it day to day. So we're talking specifically to the people that we want as our customers, not just the big boys. Get testimonials from companies of all different sizes and styles. Again, I think it's really important to talk and actually use the key words that those business owners are using. So as you can see, a lot of these people are founders. Maybe they're marketing directors at specific companies. It's important that as you're trying to find your target customers, you actually are speaking the language that those target customers are looking for. You want to appeal to it as many people as possible in your testimonials. Here's an example. So a marketing automation specialist, maybe that's the type of title that you're looking for, or maybe it's a director of human resources. And so if you're looking to work with other directors of human resources, you want to make sure that you're talking to people that are also directors of human resources. And when you're using these testimonials, be sure to simply put those titles down, because it'll make people be like, oh, they're like me. And schedule them on social. Testimonials all across the board. Another way to do this is by simply creating a graphic with it. Now, whether or not you have a graphic artist on your team or not, don't fret. That's okay. All you have to do is go to a service like Fiverr.com or Canva.com, which are free and relatively inexpensive tools that you can pretty up a testimonial. You do this, you create it just like the one we have shown here, and then you want to, on social, tag that person or the company, because it will help promote engagement, and they'll also share on their channels and grant you more exposure. And if you get new testimonials, feel free to try and put this in a press release as well, and also send it to those publications so that they will publish it as well. Again, we're just doing all these free things because they get us noticed. I told you the story about Kenya a little bit earlier, and he was like, I don't understand how you're everywhere. And I said, I'm going to literally show you. We showed him this exact method last week, and he's like, well, now I get it. Now I know I see you everywhere because you're doing all this work. So how do you get people to give you a testimonial? Well, here's a great and simple way to ask. Hey, client, it's been a blast working with you and seeing your product or service grow. We'd love to feature you on our site and throughout our channels. Can you provide a sentence or two about the experience you had with us? That's it. We'll do the rest. Thanks, Zach. It's a great way to get it. Now, here's one challenge with this style, though. When you email this to someone or ask them, they're thinking, oh my God, I have to say something really, really good. And I want to make sure that's polished. The challenge is that oftentimes, even if someone's very happy with you, they'll not return the message because they're worried that their language won't be strong enough. And so while you're working with these customers and they say something positive about you, simply write that down. And then at a later time, email them or call them up and say, hey, we're looking for a testimonial from you. You said this. Can I use it? I have never had someone say no, because all they have to do is agree with the things that they've already said about you. It's super easy and convenient for both parties. Almost halfway done. Let's talk about social reviews. Now, they're a little different than testimonials, even though they are basically someone promoting your business or negatively saying something about your business. But I think testimonials are a little bit more led by you, and social reviews are more led by the customer. So online, someone can post on Google a review like this, or on Facebook like this, and on Yelp like this if there was ratings. But you see how they can be proactive in doing it, where testimonials, you have a lot more control over it. So I really think that's the difference between a testimonial and a social review, where a testimonial is a way for you to kind of control the process, and social reviews, you really don't have as much that you can control. So I want to tell you guys a story. Do you guys like stories? About a year ago, I was doing what I normally do, looking through our Facebook and making sure that things are going okay. And I was going through our reviews, and I see this 1 star. And if you saw a couple slides ago, we don't have a 1 star there. And so I see the 1 star. There's no words associated with it. So someone didn't leave a description as to what happened. But I looked at the person, and I looked them up on our CRM. I didn't see that they had been to one of our events, that they were a member or anything like that. And I reached out to them and I said, hey, as the owner of Hatch, I see that you gave us a 1 star. I'm really disappointed in that, and I'm sorry that my company wasn't fulfilling to you. I'm very sorry. I'd love to know what happened so that we can improve upon it. And about a day later, I get a response from this person. They're like, I have no idea who Hatch is. I have no idea what you do. And I'm so sorry I didn't leave that review. I'll remove it. By being proactive and doing the things that you should do in your business anyway, by finding out why people are or not reviewing you or buying your product, I was able to understand that someone actually accidentally provided us a negative review. And I sit here and I wonder, did we lose any money off of this? This has actually happened a couple of times now, and every time it's somehow an accident. In one of these cases, the person actually became friends with us and started liking all of our posts, so it ended up becoming a win. I think it's just so important to make sure that you, as the business owner or team member of a business, are understanding why people are reviewing you the way that they are and following up with them. No matter what kind of review, always follow up. Good or bad, it's going to provide you with amazing insights. You can also incentivize people to write a review, but I think if you're going to give away like an iPad or something like that, you don't necessarily know if you're getting serious customers out of it, and it can be misleading. But a lot of people have used that technique to help them. So you're wondering, how can I ask for this? Well, again, a lot of people do this on their own, but you could also take a snapshot of this right now. Simply, hey guys, we love you and love being able to help you. We're working on increasing our exposure on whatever that medium is, and would love it if you could go to this link, provide them that link, and provide a review of our company. It would mean the world to us. Plus, we just gave you a series of reviews as well. You can see them here and then show them the reviews that you provided them. Thanks for your help. So you're giving them something, and in return, they're giving you something. Halfway there, let's talk about evergreen content. Now, evergreen content is content that is perpetually relevant, much like the way evergreen trees retain their leaves all year round. Interesting and relevant content that does not become dated is a large component of being found online by search engines. So what does that mean? It means that if you are producing information that people are consistently looking for and it doesn't change, that will improve your website's rank. Have you ever been on a podcast? Or do you have a podcast on your own? Now, you can leverage the mediums that those are built on, like iTunes or Stitcher or many of the others. The problem with challenges, or some of the challenges with that, is you're hoping that someone finds you through their tools. Well, what if you could take that information and post it on your website? You can then control it a lot more. So, if possible, download that file and host it on your own website, and then create your own social around it. If not, just take the link to where it's hosted and create a post on your site talking about the experience you had at the podcast. Again, you're trying to keep people on your website as long as possible. Here's a great example of Lisbon, which is a tool that hosts podcasts, and putting it on your own website. You want to make sure that you schedule these as well. So if you've been on a bunch of podcasts, make sure the world can hear about it. Something that I call the fraternity of podcast guests is by you looking at the other podcasts that you've been on or your podcast guests, you reach out to those people and share their stories, and you use it to build new friends. Here's Ashley Access. She was on episode 482. By simply Googling her name, I reached out to her. I didn't reach out to her, but this is how you would do it. And say, hey, Ashley, I listened to your episode on that podcast. And I want to let you know how awesome you are. I dug into some of the work that you've done, and I love it. I was on that podcast too. So that's where you're saying, hey, we're kind of the same. I'm glad I discovered you. I'll start sharing your work. I love it. Thanks. And your name. Why are you doing this? Because you're able to leverage this kind of fraternity effect, this alumni effect, to help you grow. Have you ever been writing a piece of content? You know it's the most amazing thing, but no one saw it? Well, other than sharing it more and more and more and finding other people to do it, download this tool, Disqus, Disqus, which allows you, when people are on your site, to find more content that you've written about. Now, Disqus is a tool that is about comments, but they have this really cool popular post feature that allows your popular post to just sit on your current blog post. You can also do this by manually copying and pasting your headlines with links to those blog posts and link them at the end or in the middle of your post. Why do you do this? Because it keeps people on your site longer. The longer people are on your site, the more likely they are to look at you as an authority, go further down that funnel with you, and ultimately convert into a customer. And that's ultimately what we're trying to do. You create a blog post. Well, are you telling your email list? Those people are subscribing and looking for valuable information for you. Here's a series of posts that we sent out to our list over the last year. For when we wrote articles, we wanted to make sure and ensure that those people on that list who subscribed would be able and be provided that information at a later time. Again, they're sitting there, they've subscribed to you, they want something, share it with you. The same can be said on social media, right? Because if they're finding you on social, guess what? They're liking you for a reason. They're following you for a reason. They want that information. So make sure to share it with them. So we wrote how to create a podcast. This is the post that you can send it with. I jumped ahead because I felt that was just so necessary there. My buddy Danny Rubin loves to teach people how to get their content on other websites as well. You can do this using a technique called guest blog post. So basically you're leveraging someone else's brand and you creating content for them. All you have to do is snapshot this real quick. I'll give you 3 seconds to do it. 3, 2, 1. Very quick, 3, 2, 1. But if you're looking to get on someone else's network and share them your information, you can simply follow this. Hey, whatever the person's name is. My name is Zach, and I write the blog and whatever that blog is and a little bit about it. I hope you're doing well. I'm a big fan of your blog, and I read your content on all the time, especially these 2 posts I like a lot. Then compliment them a little bit more. So you're basically like stroking their ego. And then you can say, hey, I wrote a blog post recently about this. And in a nutshell, it talks about X, Y, Z. I'd be happy to send it over as a guest blog post. Here are a couple other pieces I've written as well. Link. If you have other ideas, I'm open to writing something else for whatever your site is. Thanks, and I hope to hear from you. Appreciate you, and your email in the signature. And make sure then, if you do get blog posts written, that you do schedule it as well. You can follow this method as well. How we doing, guys? Are you guys super excited? We got 2 more left. Let's talk about interviews. So maybe you're on a television interview. If the interview is evergreen, simply schedule it out. As you can see in there, interviews are on there. That scheduler is getting filled out, isn't it, Desmond? Thank you. Now, also be sure to email your list. Again, you have all these people that are waiting for information from you. What are you going to do with it? I interviewed Fubu and Shark Tank's own Damon John. It was an amazing experience, and I wanted the world to know about it. So what do? We told the world. Not only did we share it on social, but when someone joins our list, we let them know, hey, I interviewed this guy, and this is what he said about business. Why do we do this? Because this guy has a ton of credibility. And the fact that we were able to have a conversation with him, it allows others to think that we are credible as well. Now, of course, we're credible, but as you're growing your business, the more credibility and the more authority status that you can prove, the more likely someone is to buy from you. Look, if the interview isn't evergreen, push it as if you're the expert in whatever the subject matter is. Plus, recycle it as hashtag TBT, or on Fridays, do what, Desmond?
Flashback Friday.
Meow, meow, meow. And of course, as you can see, the scheduler is complete. Now, again, that's a guide that you can use in your own business to understand where to post that. You can fill it in however you want. If you have more blog posts and testimonials, try and get more testimonials. You guys can decide how to do this. The key is to make sure you schedule it using Buffer, Hootsuite, Meet Edgar, or some other crazy technique. So, Chef Chris Hill interviewed Seth Godin, another big, well-known internet personality. He could say hashtag TBT or Flashback Friday to the time he interviewed Seth Godin. Why is he doing this? Because Mr. Godin has a lot of credibility and a lot of people know him. And although Chris interviewed him, not everyone knows that. So share it with the world. Again, just because you posted something once doesn't mean that anyone saw it. A lot of studies show that if on Facebook, your fans only see 10% of the content that you post. Well, that sucks. Now, let's talk about opt-ins. An opt-in is an exchange of some piece of content, could be anything that we just talked about, for some sort of contact information of your user. It could online, it's typically an email, maybe a phone number. In person, it is a business card to business card. When you're asking for this specific opt-in or this conversion, you want to be concise, be authoritative, use big wins, huge wins, and use real numbers when possible. So before where we said, use the small, medium, and large businesses, nope, just use your biggest wins here. Why? Because this is basically your big ask. Here's one that's not so great. Learn something new. What are we learning? I have no idea. Or this one where it says, enter your email address below to get the access to the 9 most actual interviews in Mixergy history. You know exactly what you're signing up for. You know exactly what you're getting so that you can take action from that immediately. Now, I don't know why you're here. Maybe you have some press, but no sales. You want to grow your business, or wanting to launch a Kickstarter, or want to maximize on the work you've already done. You've written a ton of blog posts, but no sales. You can't get a response from a reporter, and you can't generate traffic to your site. Look, I've been here before, and many of our clients have. I remember Eric. I met Eric a few years ago, and when I met him, things were going well. And the challenge that he went through was he lost his biggest client. And although he was given a lot of time to know about it, a couple of months, not everyone is given that opportunity. So Eric was at a dilemma. He didn't know what to do. And so he was running the software agency, and to basically find out that your biggest customer is leaving you, that sucks. And he emotionally was hurt. And he has 2 daughters, a family, and a bunch of animals, and a house in the suburbs. And he, sat there and didn't know what to do. He was about to go out of business. But he called us and said, I don't know what to do. And so we found one of our 1004 systems that he could help use to generate leads. He had done all this work before. He knew all these people, but he didn't know how to reach out to them. He didn't know where to find those target customers. So we advised him to take inventory of everyone in his life and categorize them into 3 categories: cold, warm, and hot. And basically we told him to focus just on the hot. And what the hot is basically the people who you know are your customers, the people that you met before that are looking for solutions that you want. And what did Eric do? He spent a couple of bucks and he reached out to everyone and wrote a letter to them and said, hey, I want you guys to know that my name's Eric Olson. This is what we do from a business perspective. I've met you here before. We maybe have done work together before, but I want you to know that I'm open for business. I'd love to work with you and to help you grow your business. If it's not the right time, that's okay. Keep us in mind for the future. We also love referrals. I kid you not, Eric went from 1 person to 13 people and is now merged with another smaller business. And they're doing sensational, well over 7 figures, just by initially starting with this strategy. And there was Nate. I met Nate just a couple of months ago as well. And Nate had a great idea. He was about to launch a Kickstarter campaign for a new product that he invented. So many of us have products, but we don't know how to get that funding from them. Banks aren't going to give you the money. It's not a venturable business. Family isn't wealthy. Maybe people max out credit cards, so you just don't have anything. He was overwhelmed and was wary about where to start. It was do or die, and if he didn't hit his campaign goal, his dream of starting his own business wouldn't come to true. So he joined 1004 for help. Our community was able to help him decide what kinds of content were most effective, how to improve his business model, improve his community of people, and to really grow that Kickstarter. When to share the best results, help navigating the process. And he was trying to raise $38,000. Now, many of us have talked about creating a crowdfunding campaign and how do you create the community or the vision that people are looking for. And Nate was one of them. And Nate, I remember he would be on our forums and he had a community of clients or potential clients, but he didn't know how to reach out to them. And so we really showed him the way. And let me tell you, he hit that goal. He crushed the goal, really. $38,000 is what he was trying to get. Now $63,335 is what he hit. And he did that in just 28 days. We showed him where to find people to call, where to find people to become customers. And the strategy is exactly what to post and when to post it. And it's incredible to see what Nate's done. Now he's working on the production and it will be releasing this product as well. Nate said this about us: I was able to get honest criticism and feedback by being surrounded by entrepreneurs and business owners who can understand the struggles I was going through. I would have never been able to reach my goal without 1004. Then there's Tracy. Actually, just before this call, heard from Tracy today. Tracy is about 50 years old and had helped grow several other businesses over the years. She had been working for these businesses and helped grow them from the start to being sold for millions of dollars, but it wasn't her business. And that hurt her emotionally. She knew that she always wanted to start a business, but didn't really know the business side of it. She knew what her business was, and in this case, it's armed security, but she didn't know actually the business side of it. She really was hurt that she had helped so many people grow their business, yet she was not financially being rewarded in the same case because she wasn't the business owner. Oftentimes, people are working for the man and they want something more. And it sucks that they're building something and they don't get anything out of it themselves. And so Tracy didn't have a huge marketing budget to advertise her company. She didn't know how to grow her small business. I showed Tracy exactly how to do it. She wasn't afraid to go up to someone, but just like at the beginning of this, she wasn't putting them through a process. She wasn't putting them through a funnel, and instead would just go up and say, hey, buy my thing. And we all know what happened. She didn't get the business. But once she started putting those customers through that funnel by using the exact strategies we told her to use, guess what happened? She has more than 40 employees now and is going to have more than 1 million in revenue this year. She did this all because of the process that we taught her on 1004. If you have a small business and you're looking to make it bigger, Tracy says, you're looking to make it better, then there's no better place than starting with Hatch. It all started with being an entrepreneur who met another entrepreneur, that's me, who said, hey, we have a path for you. And for just $30 a month, it was the best purchase that she could have ever made. So maybe you're like Tracy and you own a blue collar service, or you're working for someone and you just don't think it's working. You would rather be building that venture for yourself. You're a maker, a small business owner, or an agency. We want you to join the community. You can learn more about it at startwithhatch.com/10004. And what is the community? The community takes you through a path of no matter where you are in your business to really help you understand how you can get to that next step. Helps you figure out, what should my financial goal be? Should I hire employees? Should I hire 1099? Am I even doing this right? What are other people going through? How do I send an email? What should I wear to this event? Do I really need to spend $50,000 on my website? These are all stories and questions that I hear all the time. Someone today said, I'm going to all these networking events. I'm joining all these groups because someone told me that by joining all these groups, I can make a lot of money off of it. And what I told this young lady was, well, what are you getting out of it? She's like, nothing. I'm like, so why do you keep going? And so I told her, well, you got to figure out who your target customer is, where they are, what they're looking for, and have conversations with them and put them through a funnel. And she was like, oh my God, I had no idea. I had no idea that's what I was supposed to do. I thought that if I just go network and try and tell someone to buy something, that would work. Now, don't get me wrong. Every once in a while, that might work. Like once in a blue moon, every once in a while. You don't like to get cold called to buy something. It's not fun. So we have an on-demand library of expert workshops that are produced by business owners who have been there and done that, and who are going through this right now with you. Those are just a few of the stories that I've heard over the last few days alone. This is Chip Dodd. He owns a business that he took over for his mother when she was dying. He didn't know how to be a business owner. But now he explains to us how to measure what's important. And you might be wondering, well, what do the videos look like? Well, the videos are anywhere from a one question, 60-second to 2-minute video that answers a very specific question. Or maybe it's a path that's a series of videos that are a little bit longer. The key, though, is that we want to help you with your business with whatever the problem is. We do this through something that we call Your Business Snapshot. It's a process where we ask you a series of questions so that you know where your business is on a very specific given date and time. Now you might be asking yourself, well, why is it so time specific? Well, let's say that your target customer right now is Sally. She's a 45-year-old soccer mom that drives a Nissan minivan and has 3 kids. But then you recognize that your customer is actually Nick, and he's a 25-year-old college dropout who sells stickers. Now, yes, those are two extremes, but oftentimes people are building plans and process and playbooks for things that have already changed. So if your customer is one thing one day, you want to make sure that you're building something out for that. But if even just a few hours or a few days later that changes, you want to be sure that you change that as well. And so this is very time specific. Through the onboard process, we teach you exactly how to do this, how to fill it out, so that you can really be thinking, okay, where is my business? If you have a team member or team members, this is a great way to get everyone on the same page. We talk about things like, what is your clout? Why should someone think that you're an authority? How do you solve the problem that you're doing? Now, look, this isn't public facing. This is just for you and your team to be using on your business. When you sign up, we're going to take you through a 21-day action plan. We're going to tell you exactly what to do for the next 21 days. What's cool about this is all you have to do is follow along. Some days it could be simply watching a video. Some days it could be getting out of your comfort zone and trying to find someone new. We also have worksheets and templates and resource guides that you can download, fill out, and use so that you can understand exactly where your business is. So if you're wondering how you can get this information, all you have to do is go to startwithhatch.com/1004. I'll post it in the chat now. And we're offering a 7-day free trial right now. So all you have to do is sign up, no strings attached, and check it out for the next week. Get everything you need for the next 7 days. All you have to do is simply go to startwithhatch.com/1000FOUR right now to start your free trial. No strings attached. Nothing. Join the community. Join everyone. Just a few weeks ago, Joel said he doesn't have a lot of money to spend, but he's looking at how to leverage social media to find influencers in his niche market, plus discuss with them how to promote your brand. And as you can see here, a lot of people have questions, or a lot of people have comments. That's the community that you're joining. You're joining other entrepreneurs who are like, hey, I'm going through this. How did you get through this? We don't know what we don't know. And by being able to be surrounded by other people who are going this as well, you're really joining that community of other people just like you, like Tracy, like Nate, like Joel and Denzel and Rebecca. So many of these people. You get all this for just, $30 a month. All you have to do is go to startwithhatch.com right now. You can click sign up, or on the homepage, there is a button that says start your free trial. Startwithhatch.com/1000FOUR is the direct page. I remember when I first met Eric, the business was going so well. And what's crazy is it didn't seem like things were going to ever get bad until he lost that contract and he had no idea what to do. And by simply putting him through that one process, that turned him into a well over a 7-figure business. It's an incredible feeling to see someone like Tracy, who had busted her tail for so long, decades, growing other people's businesses and seeing no return, to then now be able to be making 7 figures as well. And in 18 months, she's able to do that. All too often, we think to ourselves, hey, I can do that, but I don't know how. With 1004, you have everything you need. Every tool, every path, every way. When times get tough, you have the emotional support of us. We'd love, love, love to help you. And for just $30 a month, which is $1 a day, if you go to Starbucks, that's like a third of a cup. We'd love to help you out. To see people like Tracy and Nate go through this process and really understand how they can improve their lives and their business, it's an incredible feeling. And you may be like that as well. Maybe you have a question. You can ask me in the chat or email me at Zach, Z-A-C-K, at startwithhatch.com. What's incredible is because of this platform and because of the way that we built it, it doesn't matter where you are in your business. We can really quickly analyze and understand what you're looking for and provide you that information. All too often, we're reaching out to the wrong people and we're wondering why our business isn't doing what we want it to. What if today you could go and figure out who your target customer is and start having those conversations with them and understand what they're looking for? How can you communicate with these people? How do you understand where to find your target customer? Stop wasting time going to networking events that aren't returning what you're looking for. Instead, let us teach you the way so that you can start improving your life. So that you can be like Tracy and start building the life that you always wanted for yourself, not for someone else. Again, all you have to do is go to startwithhatch.com and sign up for the free 7-day trial right now. And you know what? If you're listening right now and you sign up right now and email me that you've signed up, I'll get on the phone with you and give you an hour of my time to help you as well. Usually I charge $500 an hour for something like that. I'm going to give it to you for free if you join right now. All you have to do is go to startwithhatch.com/1004, 1000 FOUR. Sign up for the free 7-day trial. Then email me and say, hey, Zach, I signed up. And I'll give you a free hour of my time. I usually charge $500 an hour for that. And I want to help you so much that I'll give it to you. And all you have to do is sign up right now. We can talk about anything. We can talk about how to find that target customer, challenges that you're having with your business. Maybe you're working at a company, you're trying to get out of it. I'll give you some strategies on how to quit. I remember a couple years ago, I was miserable. I hadn't started Hatch yet. I was in the worst position of my life. And I remember it was just so miserable. And when I put in my 2 weeks, that company tried keeping me. And I was like, should I stay? And I actually thought about it for a second. And all too often, we know what we want to do, but a roadblock gets in the way. And instead of just going around that roadblock, what do? We stay. If you have been thinking about changing your life, starting that business, growing that business, franchising that business, doing what you want with it, let us help you. This is your opportunity. And look, I'll give you an hour of my time. All you have to do is go to startwithhatch.com/1004 FOUR right now. Sign up for the free 7-day trial, and then email me and say, hey, Zach, I signed up. And we'll schedule a time. And we can talk about how and where exactly you can find your target customers. Maybe how much you should charge. Talk about anything. How do you talk emotionally with your significant other? Maybe a social media campaign that you've been thinking about. Or what do you think about this? Whatever it is, all you have to do, simply go to startwithhatch.com/1000. It might have been too many zeros. FOUR. Right now, simply email me that you signed up, and I'll give you that free hour right now. Again, you can join the community of other business owners like Joel or Denzel. You know what? I even use the product because sometimes I need it too. More than you think, actually. I'm just like you, trying to grow my business. Finding a place where people can go to learn and have a support system is something that when I started my business, I needed. And to be able to have something like that at my fingertips every single day for just $30 a month is invaluable. Like it's that priceless moment. What was that, a Visa commercial? I mean, we're going to give you the 21-day action plan. 1 hour with me, which is worth $500. How to fill out your business snapshot. How do you solve a problem? The community of people. What do you measure? How do you measure? The on-demand library of expert workshops. How to create a following. What I learned in selling my business, marketing 101. How to get a product to market. So many different pieces. And all you have to do is go to startwithhatch.com/1000 FOUR right now to get it. I don't know why you're here, but I'd love to help you. If you're wondering how to grow your business right now, how to start that business, how to get out of corporate America, how to shape the life that you always wanted and you know that you can because you're amazing at something, but you just never knew how to do it or what that next step is, let us help you. I've seen so many times people run deep into trouble with their business. And instead of asking for help, it goes away. If you're sitting there now and going, I don't know if I can do anything else, let us help you. I'm so happy for you guys to be with us today. We'd love for you to join 1004. Again, this is a bonus. Like, we weren't expecting to do this. I wasn't expecting to do this. But I feel like it's so important to be able to walk you through and help you. So all you have to do is go to startwithhatch.com/1000 FOUR right now. These are all the things that you're going to get. If you have questions about your business, questions about your personal life and how you can control that with your business, that's tough. That's a tough thing to go through. I remember Kenya, he's in 1004. I showed him, again, all this stuff last week. It's amazing how hard he works, but how many things he just doesn't know yet. And we're able to help him along the way with that. If you've been sitting out there wondering how to grow your business, who do I talk to? What do I say? How do I talk to them? 1004 is exactly for you. When I built it, it was a solution for myself. And then I realized that a lot of people out there needed this too. Why did I know that? Because they started calling me. Hey, Zach, how are you doing this? And I knew at that point that I had to build a solution for them. I had to build a solution that would help these individuals, these entrepreneurs, these business owners, their team members, to give them solutions to help make their lives better so that they could live the life that they always wanted to. It wasn't about a business degree or figuring out going back to school and spending hundreds of thousands of dollars. It was about who are the people that have done this before that can help me right now. And I had to build a solution for that. I had to build a product for that. And that's what I built. So what does 1004 mean? Well, remember, here are all the things that you're getting. 1004 started by accident. I was at a job summit where a local college asked me to be a part of a panel. And at that panel, someone said, hey, the area we live in, it sucks for businesses. All we need to do is simply recruit 4 massive businesses with 1,000 people or less, 1,000 people or more, and recruit them to our area. And I said, that seems really expensive. That seems really wrong. And what kind of community is built with that? And I, at that moment, flip-flopped it and said, you know what? Let's embark on this adventure of helping 1,000 businesses who maybe have an average of 4 employees. Maybe you're a solopreneur, or maybe you have a 10-person startup, or maybe you have 100 people. It doesn't matter. Did you know that the SBA designates a small business as 500 employees or less? You know, if you have 500 employees or more, that's a pretty big deal. But instead, there's not really something for that small business owner. And so I had to build something for them. So again, that was theirs. That's how the numbers started. I said, wow, let's build something for that. And so 1004 is for entrepreneurs by entrepreneurs. It's a solution to help you grow your business. And it doesn't matter if you're still working for the man or if you're 15 years in. We all have challenges. We all have problems. It's just trying to get through them, trying to figure out what works and what doesn't, having that helping hand. And that's why I built 1004. Again, I'd love to work with you. You can go to startwithhatch.com/1000FOUR. Sign up for the free trial. It's just $30 a month after that. And then email me at Zach, Z-A-C-K, at startwithhatch.com. And say, hey, Zach, I just signed up. I want that free hour. And I'll talk with you. And I'll talk to you about whatever you want. We talk about how to find your next customer. We can show you how to find your target customer, or just talk through an emotional thing that you're going through. All you have to do right now is go to startwithhatch.com and sign up for our 7-day free trial. We'd love to have you. We know that we can help you. And we're so thankful for you being with us here today. So again, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you so much for being with us today. I'm Zach Miller. Would love for you guys to join us. Startwithhatch.com/1004. Until next time, We'll see you on the inside. Again, Zach, Z-A-C-K, at startwithhatch.com. startwithhatch.com/1000FOUR, or my email, Zach, Z-A-C-K, at startwithhatch.com. Appreciate your time. Looking forward to working with you. Please let us know if you have any questions. Until next time, signing off. Talk to you soon.